If you'd like to participate in the discussion or leave us feedback, you can contact us at levelupyourgamingpodcast@gmail.com or find us on Facebook at facebook.com/levelupyourgaming. If you like the content and want to hear more of the show, subscribing will ensure you don't miss an episode. New episodes come out almost every Wednesday. Also, please review, tell a friend about the podcast, or share with your gaming group. Now sit back and enjoy the episode. Welcome to Level Up Gaming Podcast. My name is Aaron, and joining me today I have Josh. Josh, how you doing today?
You know, I'm doing. It's been I think the kids are driving me mad, man. They're home all day, every day. We don't need summer vacation, right? They can just they can do something else. They can get jobs. That's what they need. They need jobs.
They need jobs. There you go.
This is why my parents made me go get a job at the end of freshman year. Just so that I wasn't there.
And, I mean, your daughter's almost the age where she can go get a job.
Yeah. Oh no, she definitely is. She's 16. She could definitely get a job.
So you have to do that.
I just have to make her. Yeah. It has to happen. It's driving me mad. Yeah. How about you? How you doing?
Things are going well. Yeah, I think everything's going good since the last time we talked. I'm doing much better than you. So.
Yeah, I was working on the outline for a podcast that we could do about one of our genres, because I'd like to spend some time working on some genre episodes, like how to work in specific genres and what they've really meant for us in the past. What's the purpose of the genre, sort of thing. But it needs more time. I need to spend a little bit more time with it before we go on with it. So how do you feel about doing a Let's Make a One Shot?
Well, that was the backup plan. So here we are with a Let's Make a One Shot, and given your condition, let's talk about critical condition.
Yeah. So, dear listener, you might know that we've got a list of various names that I've just thrown up here that have no real relevance or idea behind them. They are just names. They are there to spark ideas. They are there to see what we can come up with. And I saw this in the list and I thought, I had an idea. I had a thought popped in. But I'd like to hear what you've got first, Aaron.
Okay, so you brought up this critical condition here. I was thinking something of like an outbreak sort of story where the players are plagued by something and the entire story is revolving around them finding the cure for themselves.
I had something very similar, but I had a twist.
M. Night Shyamalan over here.
Have you ever heard of or seen the movie Inner Space?
No.
Or possibly Fantastic Voyage?
No.
Okay. In either of these, the main characters are shrunk down and sent inside of another person to fight a disease.
Okay.
Yeah. I love the idea of, a horrible disease ravaging the countryside. Something is going wrong. Maybe even one of your players or a close NPC is infected, and nobody knows where this thing is coming from. It's this terrible thing that's ravaging the insides, almost like there is a whole army going through people's bodies and just destroying everything inside of it. It's weird. And you find some shamans or some wizard or whatnot that's willing to break you down and send you inside an infected person to find out the cause.
So yeah, we're gonna approach this from the fantasy setting. Obviously you can have be a futuristic setting, shrink ray, whatever it's got to be. But I like the idea of some weird hokey wizard who's like got this crazy idea. We're gonna make you tiny, and you're gonna go inside of that guy.
Yeah. Well, and I think in this case, it would be best if it was just like one person that's horribly sick, but that person's very important. Like,
Mhm.
it's the king or the duke, or um, if you want to throw this into an existing game, it could be like um, an ambassador from a far off land that if they die here from this disease, it'll start a war. So you've
Mhm.
been tasked with going inside and fighting the disease to save this person to prevent an outbreak of war between these two countries. What do
I
you think?
like it.
You
Yeah,
like that? Yeah.
yeah. Let's go with that. Yeah,
Okay. So Ambassador Babashnap, that's
yeah.
his name now. Ambassador
Ambassador
Babashnap.
Babashnov. Um, so obviously, we're gonna do genre setting, like a kingdom. Um, but I mean, you again, this you know, very easy to put this in a modern day thing or even a futuristic thing. The modern day is a little bit harder because this does really lend itself to some more of a sci-fi sort of thing. But bend the rules. Modern day, some kooky, eccentric person has created a shrink ray to be able to solve illnesses by putting.
Yeah, I think this is perfect. I like also the idea of it being, foreign dignitary, ambassador who's been sick, and they suggest the shrink ray. I think a later twist in the story will be that you are not the first people that are sent in, that the actual disease itself is not a disease, but a rival group that, like an assassin group that has gone inside the body of this person to cause the war,
Mhm.
right? So, like, you've got to fight through the body of this foreign dignitary, only to find out that, you're actually fighting people that are actually there to kill him. But I mean, I'm getting ahead of myself at this point.
Yes. So, uh,
Yes, that is the proper way to spell Baba Schnapp.
so in terms of NPCs, obviously you have the ambassador, Ambassador Babashnap. We have to have a crazy wizard who's got who gives you the idea, uh, who shrinks you, who's like, this is a good idea. You've got the tiny assassins who have been in prior to you. And then I want to say it'd be fun to have the wizard have some assistant, like because the wizard maybe is channeling the spell, and the assistant is
Mm-hmm.
giving you all the advice to go through the body, but he's not particularly great at it. It's a little
Ooh, like the wizard's medical assistant, who
yes.
does not like, and they've got medieval knowledge of human bodies. Um, it's all miasma, it's all vapors and various phlegms. Um, yes, perfect.
All right.
I
So
think we're
obviously,
perfect for that. That's fantastic. Yeah, introduction. How are we starting the story?
introduction. So, okay, your players are. I'm trying to think. Like, would it be? I feel like this actually would be like the ideal tavern setting beginning. Okay, because some crazy wizard is going to approach you while you're getting, drinking and eating and being very leisurely in a tavern and try to convince you to go inside the body.
Oh my
like
God.
the absurdity of like that situation.
Like, I think it's funny if the wizard comes up and like approaches you at the bar, saying if you're willing to take a job to save the life of an ambassador, that it's to prevent a war, that it'll pay really well, and doesn't mention anything about shrinking to the body. You
Yes.
know, this is an adventure into strange lands. It needs people of fierce constitution who are willing to take extraordinary risks and see fantastical things. It's perfectly safe. You won't have to go very far. It's just different and weird and should be very exciting. You know, sell it, but also downplay it.
So I guess if that'd be the way that you'd want to do it if you're trying to maybe. I'm thinking like could you do it like more in media res as like you're describing like the players being like loaded into like a syringe effectively, and like and then like as they like stick a Babashnap with the syringe or whatever they're going to use to get you into the body, we flash back to you're probably wondering how we got here.
That crazy wizard never told us any of this.
So like there's two ways you could do it. Like maybe if your players gonna be a little bit more apprehensive to the tavern start, I like that better. But I'll assume that you're gonna have cooperative players who are gonna go along with the wizard's crazy, who are gonna go along like the wizard convinces them to go along with stuff. But
Yeah,
that'd be fun to do as well.
yeah, I think that's fantastic. And then, like, as soon as, like, if you are doing the tavern start, um, as soon as the players get outside the tavern, they follow the wizard outside. He draws a circle on the ground, has everybody stand inside of it, and says, "Okay, I'll teleport you to where you need to be." And he teleports them, but also shrinks them down at the same time. So now they're immediately tiny, and he just carries them over. Like, listen, this is what you're gonna do. It's just this giant booming voice from the heavens, because they're infinitesimally small. But yes, it definitely doesn't mention what's going on, and the players do not know until the last minute. It's much funnier. It's just a better
Yeah.
time.
You have to either surprise your players with that little bit there, or like I said, you're literally describing them being like loaded into the syringe.
Mhm.
Like, what happened?
Yes. So, um, we've now injected the players into the body, and I love the idea of the wizard's medical assistant, um, like giving you directions on where to go. Uh, I think, you know, just in general, see, if you're inside of a human body or inside of it doesn't have to be human, especially if we're doing fantasy style, kingdom, wizard, blah, blah, blah game. This could just be a squid. It could just be various sacs and fluids
Yeah.
and different, like, none of it makes any sense. Um, and it is, this is a foreign dignitary, so maybe the that's the reason the medical assistant isn't very good at describing where to go, because the body is horribly foreign.
Make the forward dignitary like a tiefling or
I was like, literally a squid from the ocean that, like, came up on land. It's a very well spoken squid with, uh, but
So we've injected you into pustule 7. Okay, so this allows you to not be sucked away by the seventh chamber fluid.
and it's very, um, it's got to be one of the puzzles. Got to be sort of mapping out that body, and finding where the infection is. Like,
I mean,
so
yeah, it's a dungeon crawl within a body, so you have to come up with like, okay, this is where you're going to start. So,
mhm.
like, I don't know, maybe they shove you into like one of the veins, or you know, this open sac 7 or whatever it's going to be, and
Just go
then
in through an orifice, right in through the nose or an ear canal or something, right? Um, it could be as simple as that. It could be an injection, but you're going to have like various sacs, and you've got different parts are connected, and all the walls are fleshy, and yeah, it's gross. It's just covered in pus. But part of it is definitely going to be, um, you're going to see the players are going to see the effects of this infection. They're going to see, damage that has been done, and they're going to have to track it from location to location and sort of determine where it is going.
is it
And I
one of
think,
the sort of puzzles to this is sort of like the realization that it is not disease, but it is in fact another set of like shrunk people who are causing and wreaking the havoc.
well, I think that's going to come as part of a double setback.
Okay.
Okay. The double setback being that there are assassins inside the body that are effectively trying to kill this ambassador. And I think the other half of the setback is that the ambassador's own immune system has recognized you as a foreign body, right?
uh,
So you've got to fight and kill the assassins, and you have to avoid the immune system. Specifically, it's like an avoiding thing as much as possible, because if you kill the ambassador's immune system, the ambassador's going to die. The immune system is out there trying to repair the damage, but if it sees you, it will kill you.
I like the idea. So I've just thought of this is that the wizard's kooky medical assistant, who's not very good at his job, is in fact working with the other assassins, knows enough to be able to actually kill Babashnap, and is having you try to destroy the immune system on purpose.
Oh, that's really good. That is that's really fun. Um, that's that's part of the puzzle, is determining that the medical assistant is not a good guy. That's
Because what he's
part of
going to
the
have you do is he's
setback.
going to say, you're going to start seeing these like, crystalline things forming on the walls. I want you to those are plaque deposits or something like that. I need you to destroy those.
Yeah, and the you have to give your players sort of that little bit of information that it looks like they're healing up the damage. Um,
I would think that as the players decide to like start dismantling or undoing part of them, the whole body rumbles. Like it's clearly an adverse thing, like to what's going on. So try and give your players that indication that like, hey, you know, maybe it's not a good idea to be doing this.
yeah, yeah. Um, I think the whole uh, they can walk in and see, like, they walk into a chamber and they see some crystalline structure, like uh, cleaning up some damage,
Yeah,
and
I like that. Yeah.
so that they know that that's what's going on, but it leaves immediately without seeing them. So they go and they inspect it. It looks like there was damage here, but it's been whatever the crystal was here was been cleaning it up. And
I would
when
do
they,
it in multiple stages. I would like you talked about like the 3 stages of learning bit here.
Mhm.
So the first one is, okay, you just see this crystalline like buildup or whatever it is. Okay, he tells you to destroy it, so your players will naturally do that, and the body kind of grumbles and groans, and there's some like adverse reactions within there. Okay, that's weird. So there's a reaction to you doing it. And then later on, you run into the crystalline scrubber who's putting basically spackle on the inside of this creature. And then that should be the indication, like, wait, why is this doing that?
Yeah. And then it becomes, it becomes a game of stealth.
Yes.
Where your players realize that they've got to avoid the crystals or the crystalline beings and track down these assassins.
Yes. And then I believe the fight with the assassins would be the ultimate, like, you should be able to connect those dots there and then be like, okay, we have a situation where medical assistant, who we have yet to have named here, is the one who's responsible for this and put these other assassins in here
Yes.
to begin with.
And the assassins fight, and that's all well and good. I think killing the assassins is not the climax of the story.
No, I would say that that's the precursor to the climax, actually.
Because I think what would be really fun and interesting at this moment would be you kill the assassins at the same time that the wizard's assistant stabs and kills the wizard.
Okay. Interesting. Okay. And then what does that do?
Okay. So
I mean, I guess if the wizard is channeling the spell, now the spell is going to be broken, so you got to get out of there.
I don't know if the wizards would be channeling the spell, or yeah, if the wizard is channeling the spell and you've got a short period of time to escape the body, that's one thing. I was kind of thinking, sort of like a mech suit kaiju fight.
Where you take control of Bobbersnop and you fight this man?
Yes, because the fight with the assassins are taking place inside of Babashnap's nerve center. And like they are trying to kill him, but you realize that you can it's a large space, so the various party members have to do different things. But they could, take control of the body as a sort of a mech fight with against the wizard or the wizard's assistant.
Okay, I like the kaiju thing.
Both of the ideas are fantastic. In fact, as the fight ends, then they have to run and escape. Like, so one after the other. So it's, shrunk down, navigate a body, find out that, you're being lied to, that you have to avoid the immune system to track down the assassins, find the assassins in the nerve center. I think it's perfect for the nerve center because you can have like a big screen, where what you can see from Baba Schnapp's eyes and speakers on the walls where you can hear what he's saying, what's being said around him. So you got that whole thing going on, and nerve clusters that they can pull on, but they're on different sides of the room, and for different things like there's legs and there's arms, and it's just a mess of them trying to move Baba Schnapp to knock the wizard's assistant away from the wizard to save the wizard's life. Maybe the wizard's dead.
Okay.
That's why you're still, being channeled. But then you got to. The wizard is, I can't hold this any longer. I've got to fight the assistant. I need you guys to escape. And then it's the run out. And hope you didn't do too much damage to Baba Schnapp. Yeah, that's a little insane.
Yeah, it's totally insane.
I think this is fantastic. This might be the best one we've done. Okay.
Shrink yourself down to go save the squid creature. fight some assassins, and then go to the brain and start attacking as the squid creature to kill the medical assistant. I love it. Okay. So
Yeah.
maps.
Yeah,
Let's put them.
absolutely. You're going to need a like I for a concept at least. You're going to need a map of the body. Okay, where you're starting, where you're going. It is a dungeon crawl. There are going to be, um, you know, encounters throughout the body. You've got the immune system. I was almost thinking that you could have a secondary infection. Something that your players could fight. There is an infection. It's not the infection that's causing all this stuff. It may be opportunistic, and you might even come across the immune system fighting the infection to further reinforce that the immune system are the good guys,
Okay. Yeah.
right? Which would give you a couple of more mobs to fight. This is one of those situations where your players are having a good time. You want to stretch this out, or you've got a lot of time to spend on this, and you don't want to rush it. Throw in a couple more encounters, have a little bit of fun with it. Um, I think that secondary infection is really fun. The crystalline antibodies are really fun. Um, and depending on your players, they could even sort of trick the crystalline antibodies into chasing them into the nerve center and helping them fight the assassins, which would be a lot of fun too.
Yes.
Um, but yeah, it's a dungeon crawl inside of a body with a kaiju fight.
Take control of the body. And then
Yeah,
disband. Handouts. Anything to hand out.
I like
This,
I don't
this,
know,
this
like
one's hard here. I feel like
a
this is
pamphlet that says "So you've been shrunk."
I I actually love the idea of the pamphlet that says "So you've been shrunk." Okay, so like it has the general guidelines, like like what to expect, like what the next 24 hours are going to be like. Yes, your organs are intact.
It's like medical information, like what to do inside of a body. Don't touch things that are pulsing. This could mean that a person is alive. Yeah, the "So you've been shrunk" handout with like that nice 1950s style aesthetic of like the Fallout sort of um infomercial sort of thing.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Just an absolute dream of a thing to throw out there. Once again, as always, the handout is absolutely not necessary, but very funny if you can do it. Um,
Yeah, if you could produce something like this and then give it to them and then go through it, like this would be a memorable part. I mean, not that the rest of this wouldn't be memorable, but this would be like
oh no, because it starts crazy and then it gets worse, and then it goes so much worse. And I think that's like this is a very enjoyable experience for your players, um, because it is insane, but also can fit in a larger narrative. You could throw this in the middle of a story. You could have this as a one-off in a story. Um, I don't think that this really works as like the start of a story, unless
no, well, I mean, so here's the way that you could start it as a story, obviously, is that you have Ambassador Babersnap. Okay? And when you're all done, you've saved him. He could then you could it feels too campy and too weird to start a really good story out of it, but like you could have a really serious thing come about it after this whole experience, but it's probably better as an interlude or some true one shot.
I mean, you literally could make it absolutely insane after this if you wanted to. But these assassins have attacked Baba Schnapp. He's going to try and keep peace between the kingdoms, but he saw how well you did, you know, piloting his body, and they have the technology. And then there are giant kaiju fights in the ocean.
Or you could make the ultimate Weekend at Bernie's sort of thing
Oh,
where Baba Schnapp dies.
and you've got to Weekend at Bernie's him through the. Oh, oh no, that's much worse. I love it. That sounds fantastic.
It would not be a particularly long game, probably, but it would be like the best, like 4 or 5 sessions, depending on what you chose to do.
Like, oh, yeah. And that you've got to like run around and patch the body up as it's decaying, and keep it moving through. No, no. Okay, let's just run out of the body and hope that Baba Schnapp survives. Fight the medical assistant. Um, the medical assistant, once you're outside of the body, is either you've either knocked him unconscious or he escapes, and that might be where you've got the story going. Now
Yeah.
you've got people that are jumping in and out of other bodies, um, and assassins trying to, political intrigue, but in Crazy Land.
Yes. Yes.
So, yeah. Are there any other bad guys you can think of for this?
No, I feel like the infections, the antibodies, the assassins, the medical assistant. I feel like that pretty much covers everything that you'd want to have.
Are there any? I mean, you've got a couple of puzzles in here. Yes, you've got to map the body, but also you then have to figure out how to kaiju the
So I
ambassador's
think
body.
the big puzzle is going to be the figuring out the kaiju part of it. I
Mhm.
don't actually think like the rest of it is very puzzling. I think the kaiju fight as him is more of because the medical assistant isn't anything special. He's just some guy. But your players, if they were outside of Baba Schnapp, they could easily dispatch of this guy. But because they're inside of the squid being, trying to control the squid being, that's a different thing. Like learning how to throw the punch, like learning how to do, you're like what you got to do because you're pulling on nerve ends and you're trying to make the body react the way that you want it to react. So
yeah, I think it'd be you can work with your players in terms of how it's designed, but I think the nerve endings should be spread out around the room in such a way that you need to coordinate with the other players. Like one person controls one leg and another person controls another leg, and they have to, coordinate how to move the body. And it's just a couple of rolls. It's just a coordination between the different people in the room, and then they can work as a team. Like the person who's swinging the arm, would make the roll for attack. The people that are moving the legs would have to make the decisions on where to move and, coordinate that. So there's a couple of roles that you're going to make them do, but a lot of it is going to come down to them working as a team.
yes.
And that's always good because you're going to have people actually like coordinating and cooperating. I know a
It's
lot of
coordinating, it's cooperating. It is true. Like no, go there and so I can
yeah,
get the blow over here.
I think, you've got a lot of RPG battles, like tabletop game battles are very much every person is doing their own thing, because it's my turn and I'm doing my thing for my round. And this is very much no, we all have to work together to make this thing happen. And
Yeah, you'd have to do a little
that's good.
thought experiment as to how to make it an intriguing like little fight. Like, because that's the key. Like, you don't want it to be just like super simple. You want it to be like sort of figuring out the puzzle and then making things kind of work. It's like if you gave your players like a piano key, and like each key did something different, sort of thing. Um, and your players are sort of mapping that out in the fight. So once
Yeah.
they've got it figured out, it's a lot easier to work through. But figuring it out is the hard part.
Do we
While they're
want
trying to be
to?
killed.
Yeah, I mean, it's absolutely perfect. Do we want to give the assassins any personality, or is this just like they're just assassins?
Uh,
I mean, they can be just assassins, considering that we've got the medical assistant is actually, their
I think the
ringleader slash
medical
boss.
assistant is more the bad guy. And
Mhm.
the assassins are sort of like the henchmen to the bad guy. So I don't know if we have to actually give the assassins a
Yeah,
ton of personality.
I agree.
You do you. This again, these are guidelines.
Mm, absolutely. This is the framework for telling a fun story.
Yes.
Um, an insane, crazy story. I like it.
Yes. Anything else you want to add to this one, Josh?
I don't know. Go crazy with the descriptive words for the gooey insides, the crystalline uh, cleanup job. Just like the pulsating, the noise. Noises inside of bodies has got to be crazy, right? You've got all sorts of sloshy noises
Mm-hmm.
and like a low thrum of like a circulatory system, maybe a high whine of the electricity that's running through the nervous system. You can trace these things. You can like have a little bit of fun with descriptions on the inside of that body. So yeah,
Yes. Yes. You can also create body themed traps. Like suddenly the room starts filling up with like bile, and you got to find a way to release it. Just thoughts.
yeah,
Anyways,
I like it.
if you have any thoughts on this Let's Make a One Shot, or if you have ideas for a Let's Make a One Shot in the future, let us know. Level Up Your Gaming Podcast, gmail.com or facebook.com/level up your gaming. The podcast is on all your favorite podcast sites on YouTube. So go ahead and smash the like button, subscribe on your favorite podcast site or on YouTube. Comment, recommend it to a friend, subscribe, all those good things. And that'll wrap us up for the week. So for Josh, I'm Aaron. Have a good week, everyone.
Bye.